Greetings to everyone. Welcome back to Mss.Roth.Recaps. Today I'm going to explain a film called Lost Ollie Season 1 released in the year 2022. The film begins with a lost toy rabbit named Ollie, suffering from amnesia, must brave a perilous world to find his owner. He teams up with two mysterious companions, but their fragile alliance is threatened by Zozo, a vengeful clown consumed by ancient heartbreak. What tragic secret does Ollie's past hide, and can he remember it before Zozo's rage destroys their hope of ever returning home? But before we get to the storyline, I want to remind you guys first, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Okay, let's keep going with this story. Spoilers ahead. Stay safe and enjoy. The clown doll, Zozo, was tragically beaten daily with a baseball bat, his lower half perpetually stuck in a barrel. He would fall and immediately right himself, believing his life was destined for endless abuse. Then, a princess doll appeared in the stand opposite him. She was charming and wore bells that made a pleasant, ringing sound, immediately drawing tourists. Zozo fell in love instantly and played music for her every day. One evening, the princess invited Zozo to dance. He was deeply saddened because he had no feet. However, the princess showed no disdain. She stepped forward and took his hand. They fell in love through their daily interactions. Their happiness was short-lived. The amusement park went bankrupt, and all the merchandise was sold. The princess was bought by a little girl. As she passed Zozo's stand, she said a reluctant goodbye, but Zozo was unable to grab the feather she left for him as a keepsake. Watching his loved one taken away, Zozo desperately tried to follow, but his lower half was fixed to the stand. He could only watch her disappear around the corner, calling out her name in vain. Unwanted, Zozo was left alone in the abandoned amusement park. He sadly watched the empty stand opposite him every day, never forgetting the princess and hoping for a reunion. An opportunity arose when his stand collapsed. Zozo easily climbed out of the rubble and used his hands to move forward little by little, the first time he had ever been outside the display stand. Since he had no feet, he made a pair for himself. Filled with hope, he began his search for the princess, but he found no news of her anywhere. Year after year, his search continued, and his hope slowly turned into despair. Finally, Zozo settled at a junk shop, living a listless existence. Many years later, a rabbit doll named Ollie, suffering from amnesia, arrived at the shop. The sound Ollie made seemed very familiar to Zozo. Ollie went to the owner's room and saw a photo wall that triggered scattered memories. Though many details were unclear, she recognized the first picture. Zozo informed Ollie that the big river was right across from the junk shop. The two planned to escape through the dog door. After failing to push it open, they set all the clocks to 6 o'clock. When the bells rang, they seized the moment while the big dog was distracted. Ollie propped the door open with her crutch, allowing their escape, but the big dog quickly noticed them. They ran until Zozo accidentally twisted his foot. Just as the big dog caught up, a kung fu skilled doll, another clown, appeared. Holding two swords, she fought the dog, scaring the formidable foe away with a slash. It turned out the two clowns knew each other from a mysterious past. They acknowledged their former relationship, though one remembered it clearly and the other had forgotten. Ollie, focused only on getting back to her owner, ignored their conversation. She walked through the bushes and finally saw the big river. Shouting in relief, the two clowns followed Ollie onto a boat. However, the second clown seemed hostile, snatching Ollie's map and speaking harshly to her. The first clown, Zozo, stepped forward to scold the second clown, reminding her of their past bond. The second clown's attempt to make Ollie abandon her journey stemmed from difficulties she couldn't express. In the boat's hull, they discovered the next stop on Ollie's journey. The trio arrived ashore at a hospital. Ollie ran into the waiting room, and an instrument there sparked a memory. Her owner had been brought here before. Ollie then sang a song, "And all your charms whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream." She explained that her mama, her owner's mother, used to sing it when she was scared. It became clear that Ollie's owner's mother had passed away from cancer while Ollie was with her. Ollie could not remember what happened next. Zozo grabbed the map, Confirming he knew the black dot on it represented the amusement park, Zozo brought Ollie back to the park, but Ollie still couldn't remember anything. Zozo turned on the lights, lighting up the park, and pressed Ollie for any familiar details, but Ollie remained blank. Zozo lost his patience. He angrily demanded answers, accusing Ollie of lying about taking him home and stating he put Ollie in his stand. It was revealed that when Zozo began his search for the princess, he was a kind doll who had found the second clown near death and stitched her up. They became best friends while searching for the princess, visiting many places. Each time Zozo followed a clue, he was met with crushing disappointment. His longing turned into an obsession, and he began treating other dolls brutally, losing himself completely to derangement. The second clown was terrified of Zozo. Realizing he might never find the princess, Zozo had left the second clown a note and went to the junk shop to drift. Ollie's appearance and the familiar song from the hospital reignited Zozo's hope, convincing him Ollie knew the princess's location, leading him to trick Ollie into returning to the amusement park. Zozo became increasingly agitated, grabbing Ollie by the neck. Ollie struggled and begged the second clown for help, who regretfully told her it was too late. Zozo tied Ollie up and relentlessly questioned her. When Ollie explained she truly didn't know where the princess was, Zozo threatened to take her apart. Stitch by stitch, the second clown intervened. She excused Zozo and quickly untied Ollie. She admitted to loving Zozo and didn't want to see his destructive obsession continue. Ollie fled while the second clown distracted Zozo, professing her love for him. Zozo ignored her and was alerted to Ollie's escape. Knowing the second clown had let Ollie go, he flew into a rage and violently threw the second clown away. He quickly caught up to Ollie, who was terrified. The second clown arrived just in time to draw her swords and engage Zozo in a fight. During the fight, the second clown was knocked against a tree, and Ollie was thrown into the water. Submerged, Ollie recalled a piece of memory. The black dot represented her owner's school, where her owner was bullied. A bully had thrown Ollie out of the school. When the owner chased after her and opened the door, he remembered the bully's words, "We don't need a baby toy." He hesitated and closed the door, abandoning Ollie. Ollie finally remembered that her owner had abandoned her. Heartbroken, she cried and stumbled to the ground. She looked up at the sky, remembering the last time she looked at the stars was with her owner's mother. She suddenly remembered her mission. The night before her mother passed away, she gave Ollie a message for her owner that Ollie still hadn't delivered. Cheered up, Ollie knew she had to find the owner to complete her mission. Following her memory, she found the house, but the sight stunned her. It was long abandoned. Decades had passed while Ollie suffered from amnesia. Desperate, Ollie knelt on the ground. She went into the owner's room, looking for any trace of him. A missing person notice for Ollie showed that the owner had searched for her. She looked at the photo wall, recalling her past with him. Then, Ollie found a picture of the owner's mother as a child. She finally understood. The princess had been bought by the owner's mother. When the princess later broke, the mother had sewn the bells into Ollie's stomach. Ollie now understood everything. Zozo caught up to Ollie, confronting her and demanding to know what she had done to the princess. When Ollie explained the princess had been loved so much that she simply fell apart, Zozo cried out in heartbreak. Ollie told Zozo that the owner's mother, unable to let the princess go, had placed a piece of her inside Ollie. Ollie offered to give Zozo the bells if he truly needed them. Zozo looked at Ollie as if seeing the princess, and gently hugged her. But then, completely consumed by madness, he ripped open Ollie's stomach and violently pulled out the bells. Losing the bells meant Ollie would lose her life, but Zozo only cared about possessing the princess's heart. The next day, a man rescued the lifeless Ollie from the water. At home, he cleaned and mended her body before giving her to his daughter. "Go and be best friends," he told her. When the man was leaving, his daughter stopped him, singing the song Ollie knew. Mama used to sing that song. The man was astonished, as his mother had passed away when he was a child. The daughter then explained that just because you lose someone doesn't mean they're gone. The man took Ollie and cried. At that moment, Ollie opened her eyes. She had finally returned to her owner. The story concludes that as long as they keep having each other, they shall never be apart, as Ollie became the vessel for the love, memory, and connection across 3 generations. Thank you for watching this story until the end. I hope you liked it. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Miss Roth says goodbye.